had offers from Minnesota, Northwestern, and believe it or not, Alabama.
Okay.
Now, there's a story behind all these things now. The Mike Jirschele, and if anybody's in sports in the last 40 years knows Mike Jirschele. Mike Jirschele is one of the best athletes ever in the state of Wisconsin, come out of Clintonville. He was a year behind me as a quarterback. His dad, Don Jirschele, played for Bear Bryant at Kentucky when Bear Bryant was at Kentucky. So I've been recruited, and I got some Ivy League schools and other schools, but those are the ones where I had offers from. So I went, first year was at Northwestern. So this is just a huge deal. I mean, he was a kid from Clintonville, and I was a hay shaker. I want to tell you, when I was a kid, it was a big deal. We'd go to like Appleton or Green Bay maybe once a year, and when you'd go, you always go to McDonald's, and you never eat it there. You'd always bring it home in the bag. You eat in the bag. So when you went to school on Monday, look at me, look where I was over the week. We were at the big city in the McDonald's right here. I mean, it was a big deal. So anyway, so I got on a plane at Green. My buddies drove me over to Green Bay, got on a plane, flew down to Chicago. And the guy, John Ike, said, I still keep in touch with John, the guy that recruited me. And we got off the plane back then. You could walk right up to the door and we'd come off the plane. You'd be right there. And he walked right, hi, Bill. John Ike at Northwestern University. How are you? And years later, I said, Ike, how did you know it was me? I said, you'd seen my tape with my jersey and everybody. You never really seen my face as far as I know. I said, how'd you know it was me? He said, you were the only guy getting off the plane with eyes as big. You look scared. I figured it had to be you. And so I did that. I went a trip to Minnesota. I remember Cal Stoll was the head coach at the time. And I remember I was in class, and I see this guy walking, and he's wearing, obviously, Minnesota stuff. And he was, Bill, can you come down to the office? It was the head coach. It was like, he'd come to Clinton. I said, holy crap, it's a big deal, right? And in Alabama, Don Jirschele, Mike's dad, had played with the guys, some of the coaches, so they were still on the staff. And I think, and I really believe this is true, I flew down there, and it was like, oh my gosh, I thought Alabama, it was like going to be 100 degrees, and it was, in the winter, like in January. So I wore packed these shorts. I mean, it was chilly. What am I thinking? I was like, oh, that was not the sharpest knife in the drawer, I'm telling you right here, right? Anyway, you get down there, and, you're in the athletic dorm in Alabama with Bear Bryant, oh my God. And I really, and I think this is true. I think they wanted Mike. Mike was a wishbone quarterback, and at the time they were running a wishbone down there. And I think they said, well, here's the deal. We'll get this the Billy guy up here. We'll get Billy in there and bring him in. He'll grease the skids. Mike will follow in his footsteps, and then we'll get rid of Bill and keep Mike. And I wouldn't blame him. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am today were not for Mike Jirschele. I mean, he was just so good and so powerful. I mean, I'd walk all summer long working the weight room. He'd walk out 300 pounds, yeah, sure, boom, 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 done. I mean, it's like, huh? But the story with Mike, backstory on that is, and I think about this every day. He had three brothers that all had muscular dystrophy. He was the only boy that didn't have muscular dystrophy. And his brothers all died very young. There was Doug Jirschele, where they have a sports bank. He had a sports banquet back home named after him, the Doug Jirschele Sports Bank, became the Doug Jirschele Memorial Sports Banquet. And then Jim and Pete all died of muscular dystrophy. Doug was the oldest at 47, I believe. And they died young, but Mike didn't have it. And you think what went through his mind, Brad, every day before you put your head on a pillow and you got those few minutes before you fall asleep. Why did God give me the ability to be this tremendous athlete?
Yeah.
And my brothers are all dying or are dead. And he was all-state in 3 sports. He was a basketball. He had a football scholarship to Wisconsin. Got drafted in the 7th round by the Texas Rangers. Ended up playing baseball, his career, minor league baseball. Never made it as a player to the big show, but did make it as a coach. And matter of fact, to the Kansas City Royals. And he and George Brett became good buds. And he got called up to be a third base coach, and then they won the World Series. He's got a World Series ring.
That's amazing.
Pretty amazing. And I think about it every time. What must have gone through? I mean, he was in minor league baseball, I think, 38 years before he got invited to the big show. And I think what would go through his mind every night? My brothers all died. I mean, I remember I used to carry him around. Doug was very labored when he walked when I was a senior. And he would hop on Mike's back, hang his arms around his neck and hop on his back, and Mike would carry him around. And a lot of us would do that. He was just one of the guys who just happened to be, turned out he became in a wheelchair, but he very labored walking. But he was a statistician for the baseball team back home, manager, I was the captain of the basketball team his senior year because people respected him so much. I mean, he had this no hang dog, no pity party for me. I'm just one of the guys that unfortunately I can't walk. And he worked for the radio station in town, and just an incredible. I learned so much from him. It was inspired. I did their banquets. I think they did 25 of them. I think I did 23 of them. A couple times I couldn't. But it was such an honor to pay respect to a guy like, just a wonderful attitude. Mm-hmm. Wonderful attitude.
Yeah.
And Mike was, I mean, like I said, he was just marvel. I mean, you walk the film, holy, you could make a bad block and he'd still make it look like a pancake block, or he'd just go running off for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And no, it's just, I think back, those are special times, because I mean, it was the only game in town back then. We were 8-1 my senior year. We lost our first game and won them all after that. They went on next year. It was the last year before playoffs. The following year they went back and they lost in the championship game. And then the year after that they won it. I mean, it was just a tremendous. We had a great run of athletes in that. I graduated in '76. So it was 76, 77, between 76 and 80. And a great run of athletes. And a lot of guys got D1 scholarships and things. And it was fun. I mean, we kind of ignited. The city shut down. When your football game, everybody's in the stands. There's nobody home. They're all on the stands. So state basketball. So I think we took 6 buses down there. Last guy out, turn out the lights in Clintonville, would you?